What is up, guys? If you lean left like my dick in a warm room, here is some good news for you. I know it's in short supply these days, but it turns out Labour have just trounced the SNP in Scotland. Now, a lot of you may have been unaware that there was a by-election going on. So dominating was the coverage of the Conservative Party conference, and for good reason. It was a festival of lies, conspiracy theories, and Penny Mordaunt went legitimately insane. Anyway, there was indeed a by-election. A lady called Margaret Ferrier, who lost the SNP's party whip over breaking COVID regulations. They fielded another candidate, but they lost big time to Labour. Now, there's a bunch of reasons why this is so interesting, not least that we are, we're in the final stretch now, approaching a general election. And until now, it's felt like the SNP is this sort of unbreakable dominance in Scottish politics. I mean, one of the reasons that Labour have struggled electorally as much as they have over the last decade is because of the command that SNP First Ministers like Alex Salmond have enjoyed. I mean, that was Alex Salmond before he was accused of being some sort of sexual predator and basically ousted from the SNP. Then, of course, there was Nicola Sturgeon, a geopolitical titan who enjoyed similar electoral successes until she was ostensibly ousted for allegations of abusing campaign finance money. And what this by-election tells us is there could be a path for Keir Starmer's Labour Party to pick up seats that until very recently would have seemed out of reach. And here's the part that's really propelling tadpoles into the threads of some people's boxes, right, is that they're already 25 points ahead, right, Labour? If you start throwing seats from Scotland into the mix, you are potentially breaching the perimeter of a 1997 Blair-style victory. Now, if there were a GE collapse of the SNP, that would kind of make sense to me. It would all add up, because people are broke. There's a cost of living crisis, there's a housing crisis, the NHS is collapsing. People are so fed up, they want a shift. They want, at the bare minimum, just hope that things could get better, And in Scotland, the status quo is the SNP. In England, the status quo is the Tories. It makes absolute sense that people would look at how things are and who's been running it and go, do you know what, I'm fed up. Can we let the other guys have a go? Now, I suppose the question will be, what does this do to the independence movement? And the answer is, well, it's not going to help, is it? I think it's a shame because I think, Scotland probably should be independent. But if people are distancing themselves from the Scottish nationalist movement, I think that tells you it's time for a rebrand, maybe, or get some fresh faces up front to find different ways of selling it, Or, I don't know, you could always have a conference and do some sort of fucked up Braveheart rallying cry. That's me mocking Mordaunt, by the way, rather than Scottish independence and Braveheart. Before you start posting all your fucking flags again.